Today finds us at this interesting little stream. I've never water hunted this stream before, but I have hunted on land around here quite a bit, and I found a ton of stuff in the past. There's a small Civil War camp just upstream from me. There's 2, maybe 3 home sites upstream that date from the 1700s. There's also a mill and a furnace. So a lot of stuff happened in this little area right here, and I'm real excited to check it out today. This is my first real water hunt of the season. And you see there's really not many leaves on the trees yet. There's my pick. I have in the water. It was a little bit loose, so I'm letting the wood absorb some of the water, and it'll tighten everything up. A couple things I'm seeing though as I'm sitting here that worries me a little bit are, first, the stream is really muddy. That's a big mud bank there, so that's not going to really be huntable at all. Another thing I'm seeing is when I'm looking at these rocks here, they have a coating on them. This is a limestone fed stream, and this coating right here is actually the lime that has precipitated out of this water, and it coats the rocks and it coats the sticks and it coats the relics. So my experience has been that if there's relics that have been coated with this on rocks, it's almost impossible to get them off. So that worries me a little bit. Again, along with the mud, that worries me. Look at this stump right here. Some type of nest up in there. I don't know what that's all about. Yeah, but so anyway, what we're going to do is go ahead and hunt this, and we'll tape it, and I'll go ahead and post it whether we find anything or not. I'm going to show you how I'm going to set this up today. Just go ahead and turn it on. I'm going to hunt into scrim 1. You can see the iron discrimination's on 43 right now. I'm going to bring that down to maybe about 20 or so, because I want to be able to hear the bigger iron. Like you know, bayonets and knives and stuff like that might read close to 20 or just a little above. If I left it in the 40s where I wouldn't hear any iron at all, I'd miss it, and I don't want to miss that kind of stuff. Okay, so I'm just getting started here, and I'm already having a little bit of problem. So if you listen, there's a lot of iron in here. Here's some little pieces of barbed wire. See, these are the barbs on them. See how they're all coated with the calcium from the water, so that's what I'm talking about, being hard to find stuff, especially if it's cemented in with a bunch of other junk. So we're getting out of the lower area of the stream where it's really muddy and starting to get into bedrock. You can see right here, this is all solid rock, so if there's any coins or buttons or relics in here, they'll be easy to find. You can see the stream kind of continues on out that way. So I do have a signal here. That is basically the first decent signal that I've heard. Right here, right behind this rock. And it's a little scratchy, but it's reading fairly decent on the meter, consistent, so I'm hopeful that it might be something. And the only thing that worries me is that it's right behind this rock here. And light stuff will have a tendency to come downstream and collect right behind the rocks, like shotgun shells and pull tabs, so I'm hoping it's not that. I have to turn the camera off because I didn't bring my hack cam or my other mount to hold the camera, so sorry about that. Okay, here's the rock. This is what I just dug out. Not sure what it is, but it's very junky. I guess it's aluminum, maybe. Very lightweight, though. You see that crust on it? That's the calcium I was telling you about. Yeah, it's a piece of junk for sure. Like I said, just washed in behind that rock. Okay, here's my best sounding target of the day. He's reading low 80s. It sounds good. Okay, let's see if we can figure out what this is. I'll try to keep the camera on. The problem is I didn't bring my hat mount or anything. The pro pointer is hitting light, so that means it's still fairly deep, which means it's big, so I'm going to put the camera down. Okay, so I'm down about 10 inches or so, and it's iron. My pick, see my pick sticks to it, and I felt it, and it feels like a big piece of tin, so I'm not even going to bother digging it up since I don't have my gloves. I'm afraid I'm going to cut my fingers. We'll move on. So I'm walking up the little stream here, and I stepped on a giant turtle, man. Oh god, it scared the heck out of me. Look at him. Can you see him in there? Here's my loop. I'm going to kind of poke him up a little bit so you can see how big he is. Look at him. I'm not going to hurt him or anything, but that's a big old snapper right there, man. Whoa! Yeah, I'll leave him be. Oh, weird. Looks like he's got some chunks taken out of a shell right there. Look at that. I wonder what would have done that. Maybe somebody, you know what? Somebody shot that thing with a shotgun. Look, there's a big scar right there too. Poor dude. Oh well, sorry disturbed him, but I couldn't go. There he goes. So I'm up in the area where the houses were now, finding a lot of just junk like this. This is an old lid off of some type of pot, and it's an awful lot of it. Of course, this isn't that old. It's probably, you know, this could date to the early 1900s easily, so we'll keep looking. Come to realize this is not going to be a good spot. I mean, they pushed all kinds of stuff in the creek here. You can see a bunch of concrete there. There's some industrial waste on the left. There's a car. So anything good here is going to be buried under all this mud. What kind of car that is? Bunch of tin. I'll go up a little further. You can see the stream gets a little nicer up in there, so there's still a little bit of hope, but this was ground zero for me. This is where I was expecting to get into it, so oh well. Yeah, this has turned into a disaster here. It's just horrible. I mean, this car is in the creek. There's all kinds of tin and junk. It was a waste of time to come up. Well, it wasn't a waste of time because I know not to come back, but we're going to turn around and go up in the woods and go to one of those home sites that I was hunting earlier and maybe see if we can eke out something up there. But it's kind of neat here. I mean, look how the stream splits. I know just above us it goes back to one stream, but for some reason it's split up there a little bit higher. Pretty spot, just void of relics. Alright, that's it for me today. I didn't do very well at all. I got a couple of little odds and ends, but I'm not going to bother showing them to you. They're in the back here. But I did want to leave you with this. These are the remains of the two furnaces I was telling you about in the beginning of the video. There's one here, you can see this bowl shape here. And over here, it's bowl shaped. And if you look at the rock, you can see it's all burned. So I'm just glad we had a little bit of time to spend out here today. You got to remember these furnaces have been here since the mid-1700s. At that time, this was still a wilderness, and there were Indians running around. We were, fighting with them. They were massacring the whites, and we were massacring them. So the workers that were here were under constant threat of, being killed. So it's just a really neat piece of history, and I'm glad it's still here. This is a limestone. This is a limestone spread. This is a limestone fed stream. I'm so excited.